Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Nerdify podcast. This is Reggie. I'm
Hey,
James.
guys.
Hey. That was a weird intro. Maybe we'll make it work.
Unless you want to redo it.
Nah, we're okay.
Okay. Just roll with it. Roll the
We're not
punches.
redoing anything.
Okay.
Come on, we don't do that. Alright, so we got a lot to talk about tonight with E3 just over. So we're going to jump right into our sodas for tonight.
So today I have the Jackson Hole Soda Western Watermelon. Sounds actually like it should be good.
And I have simply pickle juice soda, which we were told by the lady who sold us all the sodas that most people say it doesn't taste like pickle. So we'll see. The last soda kind of disappointed me because it didn't live up to its name.
Oh god, this thing is. Okay, there we go.
So let's twist off.
Don't want to risk it.
Oh.
That's a little weird.
Oh, it's a sweet pickle. I hate sweet pickles. Oh.
Like a bread and butter or some shit?
Yeah.
Oh my god, those are terrible. Here, you can try that.
Yeah.
That's a little strange.
And as always, by the end of the episode, these will be gone. Not from pouring out, from actually ingesting them, because we made a vow. Yeah.
They lied. They said this didn't taste like pickle juice. This tastes straight up like fucking pickle juice.
It's sweet pickle juice.
Yeah, with carbonation, like, what the fuck? Like, as soon as I did this, I could just smell it.
I don't like that either. That's too sweet for me.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Woo!
Tastes like someone took watermelon Kool-Aid and like carbonated it.
I'll take my pickle juice.
This is gonna be fucking awful whenever it gets warm.
But I tell you, I can already tell I'm gonna like this better than the buffalo
sauce.
Yeah.
Anything's probably
that just got worse and worse as I went. Anyway.
Yeah. Maybe next week's will be better.
So,
I think they will be.
So yeah, it tastes like a sweet pickle, not like a dill pickle like I thought.
But it's not a joke on the flavor. Like, it straight up just tastes like pickle juice.
But carbonated.
Yeah. And then this is just really sweet.
Yours tasted more like cotton candy to me than watermelon.
It's kind of candy-ish.
So
it's a little too rich for my taste, but I gotta finish it, so. Well, alright, so enough with the soda shit. We gotta get right into E3 because we have a lot to talk about.
Okay.
So I guess we'll start off, we talked about EA last week.
Mm-hmm. So if you missed that, go back and watch that. It's there. Yeah. So.
Did you have any other things you want to talk about that? Or?
Only other thing I want to reiterate on was Anthem, because it just got announced that day, but we've seen more since then. So, did you have any other thoughts on Anthem since we've seen gameplay?
Yeah, so they showed a little bit of it at the Microsoft conference, and honestly, to me, it looks cool, but it just looks like another version of Destiny.
Kinda.
I've played Destiny 1, and I've actually bought it twice, because I bought it for, I think, the PS3 for the first time, maybe, and then, and then I bought the, like, collector's edition that had, like, all the DLCs in it, so I could play with my older brother.
Excuse me.
But we hardly ever played it, and I don't know, I just never could get into it. It was, So it looks cool, but at the same time, those kind of things I'm always like wary, because Destiny, they played it up as being this big revolutionary thing, and it just kind of feeling like
it was just Space Borderlands.
Yeah, it's so.
Which isn't a bad thing. I like the whole loot gathering thing. Morgan, that's her bread and butter in games, is the hoarding of all the stuff. You should see her in Skyrim, just chests full of cheese.
I feel like that happens in almost every RPG where you're allowed to just garner a whole bunch of shit. I just end up being like, I don't want to throw that away. I may need it at some point. Just become a pack rat.
You never know.
Yeah. It was worse when they were like, you can buy a house now. And it's like, oh, great, more places for... Like, before the inventory system, like, pretty much was like, all right, you're forced to, at this point, to probably get rid of stuff, unless you can find a chest you can rely on not to unload your shit. But now it's just like, oh, now you got a house where you can just put tons of stuff in there? Well, lucky you.
That's why Resident Evil gives me a panic attack. Because you have, like, not only do you have limited space, like, every item takes up a certain amount of space. So you can only carry so much, and then you have to find a chest to put things into, and then go back and find things, re-get the stuff you couldn't carry before. It's just a big panic attack for me. So zombies aren't even the scariest part about that game. It's
the inventory management.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the worst for me. So.
Organization, the true fear. Ugh. Yeah, no, I like that about that game. I like that you are forced to be like, okay, I have to take only the essentials, and I really have to think about what I want to take with me. So
it's the thing, I don't know what essential is. I don't know what's ahead.
Well, I mean, I played Resident Evil 4 through 3 or 4 times. So definitely by the 4th time, I was just like, don't need that. Fuck that shit. Oh, I need some of that, So, but it was all right. Anyway.
So, but in Anthem, the jetpacks look kind of cool. But we'll see. We'll see how that, because flight is iffy in a lot of games. I mean, they do it right.
Didn't Vanquish make jetpacks look cool, and then
they had a lot of sliding. I don't remember jetpacks in Vanquish.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. There was
a lot of jet sliding.
Maybe it was Hive or something. I don't know. One of them was like, oh, jetpacks are cool.
Vanquish was cool though. I enjoyed Vanquish. The little I played of it, it was interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Party pooper.
So
moving on.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't know if you can see what's really below here. You probably can, but if you can't, we're not looking at our crotches. I've got a notebook for notes.
You aren't looking at your crotch? I have my notes written on my crotch.
I mean, sometimes it's nice to just look at your crotch,
They can. I checked the camera. They can totally see all of this, so I'm sure they can see the paper in the book. So, and the crotch.
Talking about you as if you're not there. Okay.
Hi.
So, I guess we'll start with the Microsoft conference.
Yeah, sure.
So that was Sunday night.
I'm glad you had the schedule down, because I watched it all out of order, I'm sure.
Yeah. So that was Sunday night, and it was all right. I mean, they showed a shit ton of games, which is nice, because there's been some E3s where they showed not very much, maybe 8 to 10 games, and you're like, okay. I felt like
Microsoft had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they touted having 44 games or something they were going to show, but a lot of them were really small indie titles. They just had a montage of just and here's just 10 to 15 titles, and it's just I don't feel like you can count it as 44 big things if a lot of them are small. But anyway, okay, so I guess we should talk about. There's a lot of games, so we're just going to kind of cover the ones that interested us. So, I mean, I'll kind of mention, because I wrote them all down, but I'll kind of mention the ones that, as we go, and if we don't want to say anything, we'll just pass over them, because we may not care. But, Forza 7. I don't really care for racing games all that much anymore.
They have to be ridiculous for me to like them. I like racing games, but not racing sims, driving simulators. Right. I can't get into it, because it feels like you're going so slow, even though it says you're going 90 miles an hour. I'm yeah. I want the crazy speed.
Yeah, I grew up with Need for Speed, which is you just hold the A button the entire time and you can win the race. Whereas
tap brake for drifting every now and then.
Yeah,
you don't even let go.
Whereas if racing sims, you have to
slow down, brake, e-brake, drift. And pump the gas. It's crazy. I can't.
I don't want to stress out over that shit. So.
No.
But yeah, Forza 7. It looks great, but I'm not interested in it.
Excuse me.
Metro Exodus. I have the original Metro games. I really haven't played them all that much. From what I've heard, they're pretty good.
Yeah, I've played a little bit of one of the Metro games. I think it had a year in it, 20 something like that. I don't know. Metro 30 something. I don't know. I played a little bit of that, and it was. Excuse me. It was pretty good from what I played.
Maybe Metro.
I don't own it.
I don't know.
I think that was it, something like that. But yeah, it was playing at a friend's house for a little bit, and it was creepy.
Yeah, I've heard good things, but
that one looks really good. I think it's trying to work in more world stuff, interacting with the actual world. And
yeah, because I think I did have to say that even though Metro is creepy, at least the older ones, they didn't feel super thematic. They felt like you're kind of generic post-apocalyptic,
and it's kind of linear.
Yeah.
You're just going down. You have a really long hallway you're going down, or corridors or whatnot. Yeah. It opens it up like how the trailer started out enclosed, but then you open up into the world and all kinds of crazy stuff happen, which was great. So.
Right. So then next would be Assassin's Creed Origins. Not that I care too much. I haven't played Assassin's Creed since I would say it's the third game in the series. It's not Assassin's Creed 3.
Right.
It was Brotherhood, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I played 1, I looked at 2, and I played Brotherhood for the online, which I thought was fun. It was a cool little tag game where everyone dies.
Yeah, it just whenever they got into the whole yearly release thing, I felt like the quality on those really like hit the shitter, and
I felt like they really lost sight of the history, like, cause that's what drug me into the first Assassin's Creed game. Like, they were actually teaching you, going back in history and teaching you, hey, this guy was here at this time, he did this thing, but you still gotta kill him.
Yeah.
But I figured, once they got to like the yearly releases, they kind of dropped a lot of the history, went real loose with it, and all towards the action and the hardcore stuff.
They had a lot more fantastic,
which was still
takes
cool,
on the history.
right? Yeah, which kind of turned me off of it, because I'm like, you kind of losing sight of why you were cool in the first place to appeal to somebody different. Like, you're caring too much now about who you're appealing to instead of making a cool game.
Yeah. So I mean, but with this one, they did take a year break before.
Hopefully that'll pay off.
So yeah, hopefully that makes it a better game. I don't know. And maybe they'll stick around and make it a little bit more like accurate in terms of the history. But again, I don't even know if I'm gonna pick this one up. I mean, people are gonna have to say it's amazing, or I'm gonna have to see some amazing footage from it or something to really get sucked into it. Otherwise, it's something I'll just pass.
The gameplay they showed, it even said not from the final build, so I mean, it's still early.
Yeah. And the next was they're releasing PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds for it.
I didn't know much about this until I saw that trailer. I mean, after I saw the trailer, I realized I had seen little videos and screenshots online. I didn't know what I was looking at, but now I do with the whole frying pan thing. Yeah. I get why that's funny, because it's hard to kill someone with a frying pan. When you do, it's a crazy cool thing. Yeah. But it looks interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how much I'll...
Well, was that an exclusive?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's
I think it's already on PC. It's just it's the only console that's gonna get it. So, and then there was a game called Deep Rock Galactic.
I don't remember anything about that one.
Which
I guess it didn't make an impact on me.
So, it was weird. It was looked like a 4-player co-op dwarf mining game.
I remember that now.
Yeah, it was so freaking weird.
It was. I didn't quite understand what they were going for.
I mean, it looks like it maybe could be a good party game to just kind of fuck around with some friends, but at the same time, like I don't see the appeal.
I feel like it's too much to keep my attention, which is weird. Like, a lot of games don't have enough, but this has too much going on, like mining and shooting and just there's all kinds of. There's other stuff too in there. I know, but yeah. So
next was. State of Decay 2, which I don't have anything really to say about it. I didn't play the first one, so...
I didn't know the first one existed.
Yeah, so we'll pass over that.
No, yeah.
Darwin Project, which I don't even remember anything about that one.
I remember the name. Exclusive,
but
yeah, I don't have...
clearly didn't catch my attention all that much.
No.
Minecraft, the only cool thing coming out of that is that there is platform crossplay.
That's cool.
That's really cool, except for Minecraft's not really that cool anymore. I don't play it.
It's kind of played out. I still own it, but...
If this was something that was happening, like, 4 years ago, whenever Minecraft was, like, in its stride, then...
That'd be a big
deal. But it's still a big deal because... cross-platform play is still not common, and it's one of the most requested things that people want. You know, they want to be able to play a non-exclusive game with their friends that have an Xbox One, and they have a PS4 or so on, and it sucks that you can't. Like, it's just like, you know, like whenever I made the Sony Switch, I don't have a lot of friends now that have at least at that time they didn't have a PS3.
Don't have the Sony.
Yeah, but now, you know, because everyone had an Xbox 360.
Right.
And then whenever I got a PS3, like, almost no one had it. But now I got a PS4, and more people have it, but it's still, you know, not as many. So that's just a nice thing to have. I mean, 4K graphics pack, like, but I don't give it. It's Minecraft. Like,
right, yeah. There's only so much you can do to a block.
Shaders and better textures.
Right, I mean...
That's it.
Yeah, the cross-platform play is really the
big thing.
You should take away from that. I mean... 4K is not that all that common, at least not where I'm, you know, where I'm concerned. I don't see myself getting a 4K TV anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting a lot cheaper now. They're pretty affordable at this point. But even then, I know maybe like 2 or 3 people that have a 4K TV.
Right.
Not very many. But it's a good thing that they're just making these consoles to be able to do that because it's getting ahead of the curve. A little.
That is a good thing.
So the next one. I'm really excited for this one. Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yes.
That one came out of nowhere for me. I
Right,
had no idea
that
it was
was-
going to be a thing, but it looks so cool. Like, one, I grew up playing the Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi games, and oh my god, they were so much fun. And I'm super excited about this because, one, I'm a Dragon Ball fan. I love Dragon Ball Z.
Right,
Grew up with
yeah.
that shit. But then this is like a 3v3 fighting game, much like the Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, it's
or
done
any
in
of
that
those
style, which I think really complements DBZ fighting.
Yeah.
They still have like the dynamic shots when you switch characters. They come in and do a little sparring thing real quick, but then it goes back to the 2.5D, I guess is what it's called. And I think that really works well with DBZ's characters and the speed they fight with.
Right.
I think it's really it looks amazing, and
Yeah.
I think it's really going to play out well.
Yeah,
That's how a DBZ fighting game should be, in my opinion. I always thought that. So.
Right. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I'm looking forward to it, so that should be fun. And luckily, it's not exclusive or anything, so
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about like, buying a console just to play it. The next couple of ones are exclusives, but again, like some of these I don't even remember what they are. So there's Black Desert, which I have heard of Black Desert. I've seen it like on Reddit and everything, and it's basically just a super beautiful looking JRPG. Fun, right? Yeah.
Halfway down.
That's gotta be. That just looking at it makes my stomach hurt. So it's. I never really had any interest in it. It just looked like it didn't have a lot of depth to it. Maybe I'm wrong. I've never played it, but
Right.
yeah, it looks like, they're like, it looks really beautiful, and to draw you in and make it look really cool, every single attack is going to look overly dramatic and super badass. But then I feel that it takes away from the actual impact of your attacks, because if every time you hit a button, it's basically gonna be this epic looking attack, then like
Law of diminishing return.
Yeah.
Shh.
after a while, it wanted in on the conversation.
Let's mute that. There we go.
Taken care of. Professionals.
Haha.
And the next one is The Last Night, which I don't really remember anything about it.
Wasn't that
The Artful Escape. Again,
The Artful Escape? I feel like that was something that interested me, but I didn't write it down, so apparently not. I mean, I went through everything thinking.
I certainly don't remember
Artful
anything
Escape. I
about
don't remember that, but.
Code Vein, which is a JRPG, and that looked interesting to me. I like JRPGs.
I think that one was too JRPG for me. It's very JRPG.
I mean, don't ask me why, but like in the last, I don't know, a year or so, I just like something in me just snapped, and I was just like, I just gotta play JRPGs. I want to play. So now I got like Persona 5 and Neo, which really isn't a JRPG, but it's along kind of the same vein, a little fantastical. But it's
JRPGs.
really good.
A lot of them are amazing if you can get into the story. That's the big part for me. Is like there's a hump right at the beginning that you have to get over in order to really get in the story.
They basically have to set it up the right way to have you accept the world theme.
Right, and it's more difficult because it's Japanese and they have a totally different culture and way of doing things, so their storytelling is different.
Yeah,
so.
certain things can be very off-putting. But I mean, good ones are like Tales of Symphonia. That one was amazing.
Tales series, Jesus. Oh
yes.
my god.
And then Ni no Kuni had a very good drawing. And then Persona 5 for me, like I've never played any of the Persona games. I downloaded one on my phone and was playing a little bit. I liked the feel of it a lot. But it's a PSP version, so it's like it's kind of like a stripped version of the actual game.
Right.
But Persona 5, I absolutely love, and
I haven't played Persona, but I've seen it been played, and it does look very interesting. A nice turn-based RPG, right? Turn-based fighting.
Yeah, it's turn-based.
Basically,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
No, it is.
Okay.
So, it's a lot of fun. They break up a lot of the standard fighting part of it with a lot of like slice of life kind of management stuff, which is
that's
cool.
what I like. Yeah, it breaks it up.
Some people get really thrown off by that. They're just like, I'm a high school student. I got to worry about relationships and stuff. I was like, that's the draw of the game. That's what makes it different, But some people, they don't get that. They just want to be like, I just want to go from town to town and just fight things and level up and fight the boss monster. But
it's kind of offshoot of that. Since you mentioned Japanese high school thing, do you know why almost every single story is based on a Japanese high school student?
no,
It's because that's the highlight of their life.
Oh,
As soon as they get out of high school, it's just work just drills them into the ground, and they just get like super depressed. So like high school is really like this their college. That's where they do all their partying and their fun times. Because as soon as they get out, it's just work, sleep, work, sleep, work, sleep, work, sleep, and it's just nonstop. So that's really what they're reliving that through the comics and anime, manga, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Anyway, off topic.
Jesus Christ, that's depressing.
Yes,
okay. It is. So Code Vein, I think I don't know if I'll get it, but I'll definitely check out reviews, see what people think about it. And then the next one was Sea of Thieves, which the trailer was funny for it. It was cool, self-referential and everything, making fun of itself.
Right. I liked it. I thought it was interesting.
But it looked like it could be interesting. But I with concepts like those, I always had to be a little bit. I have to take a step back because there's been a lot of things that have been like, oh, this looks like it could be great, and then it comes out and it's either the content is super lacking because it's just like, yeah, there are islands, but there's not that many, or they're so far apart that there's almost nothing to do in between,
and it's also like we talked about in the last episode with A Way Out. It's really a team-based effort, so you really have to have. It's really going to be difficult to play with a team of random people online because you're not going to have the same connection as you would with, instead of 4 friends trying to work together to get this, treasure and all that kind of stuff. So, it looked good and I think it's going to do well if you can get enough people together to play.
Yeah. So there was another game after that. It was an exclusive. I didn't catch the name of it, but I don't even remember it. Then there was Super Lucky's Tale, which is another exclusive, but it's a platformer, and
I thought it looked good. I mean, from what I saw, there was a couple things in there. I can't remember what they were, but I was kind of like, eh. But for the most part, like 80% of it, I thought looked really good, and I think it's going to work pretty well. I still think that it looks like a Miles Prowler game that got,
Yeah, that was actually the first thing I thought when I first saw it. I was just like, is that Miles? Tails?
I thought it was Tails at first, and so I was like, it's gonna be a weird platforming Tails game, but it wasn't. I'm like, well, it's too close. They just removed a tail and called it Lucky.
Yeah,
so that's what they did.
But to me, it looked a little bit kid oriented, which is fine. But at the same time, like, I don't know. For me, platformers like classic platformers, like things like Banjo-Kazooie and
Mario 64.
Yeah, those kind of things. Whenever, like, even Crash Bandicoot and stuff, like, those were classics and they worked for their time. But I feel like nowadays people expect a lot of depth in their game, and so a platforming jump around collect 'em all is not really gonna work that well. I know some people are gonna say, well, what about Mario? That does really well. But even then, Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2 and even Odyssey have very different feels from something like a straight up level by level platformer.
Yeah.
The Mario games the mainline Mario games really try to push what a platformer is, and it's done that every single time they've come out with a mainline game. And even like if you go from like 64 to Sunshine, I mean, to me those were like 2 totally different types of platformers. Oh, yeah. And especially once you jump from like Sunshine to Galaxy, like those were 2 totally different. They feel
totally, yeah, definitely.
And even people say like whenever they released Galaxy 2, like people say that was even better than Galaxy, and so. Platformers can be good still, but I feel like you can't just do the straight up classic approach anymore because it's gonna feel dated.
That's the problem Ukulele had. It tried to copy Banjo-Kazooie's formula exactly, which does not work today.
Right.
Because back in Banjo-Kazooie's days, like I was telling you earlier, there was no internet. So if you were missing a piece, you go to school and ask your friends, and they, oh yeah, I found that piece, and they tell you where it is, and you couldn't wait to get home to go and see if it was there and find the last piece, and vice versa. So it was like really more of a community thing. You couldn't go on Google and spend 15 seconds looking up where that piece is, and then you don't get
because that's where people invested in the game and sunk their time in, is because they didn't know where everything was. You just kind of had to discover things, which was really cool. But nowadays, like, it kind of takes away from that, so you kind of got to change up the formula to give the player a reason to keep coming back.
Which is why the people who want to bring those 3D platformers back like they were in the old days really have to change subtle things. They have to walk a really fine line to not step over it.
Ukulele could have been good, but they, like you said, they followed that original formula way too close. games.
Mm-hmm.
So next after that was something I'm actually interested in, but Cuphead.
Yes,
it is an exclusive, which sucks.
Yeah, I've been following Cuphead for a minute. Like it was on like Facebook as a GIF, like I don't know how long ago, and I was like, holy crap, that looks amazing, and it was only for like, I think it was only for Steam at that point, or for PC, something like that, and I was like, well, there's no way my laptop can run this, so I'm just have to wait.
Right.
But I was kind of bummed out when they said it was going to be an exclusive for Xbox. Oddly enough, this is the one game in Microsoft's conference that kind of made me think about getting an Xbox One X.
Yeah.
And it's not even one that pushes its super graphics card and moisture cooled engines inside or whatever the hell. I don't know parts for these things. It doesn't matter to me.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Talking about that vapor cooling chamber they got.
I'm a console gamer. I don't care. I don't know specs about. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too deep into that stuff, so I mean, you know, I'm kind of familiar with certain things, but when there's like 8 teraflops of processing power, I'm just like, I can't really like quantitate that, so great.
Yeah, the 4K meant more to me than the cooling engine and the chip inside. I mean, I'm sure it's cool for like the PC crowd because most of them built their machine from piece by piece, so they know what all that stuff means, and it may be impressive to them, but for me as a console gamer, I haven't learned that stuff yet. I plan on it. I want to build my own PC so I can play things like Cuphead.
Right.
But yeah, as of right now, that meant nothing to me, and I was just kind of, can you get on with the games? I want to see these games. That's what I'm here for.
But Cuphead does look really cool. I like the classic.
Oh, it looks so clean.
Like Felix the Cat type feel.
Steamboat
like
Willie.
Yeah, it looks like it'd be really fun.
So clean.
So the next was Crackdown 3, which I did play the original Crackdown, and it was kind of fun.
I played a minute.
But long-term interest, like some of my friends were really into it at that time.
I know I had a big following,
but I just never saw the appeal of it. You know,
I see it. It looks. I see more appeal in games, similar games like Prototype. I mean, that looked more fantastical.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Something about it just seemed a little
jumping high, running up buildings, killing things. I mean, I don't know.
So then after that was a shitload of indie titles. They did a montage of them, so we're not gonna even talk about those. Then there was Ashen. I don't even remember. It's an exclusive. I don't really remember anything about Ashen at all.
Nope, not either.
And then Okay, so this one is a big one for me. Life is Strange Before the Storm. Now I played the first.
All the episodes are free on PSN Plus this month. We have it now.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, Morgan started playing it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't even pick it up. I already have it on PC.
Yeah, she fell in love with Tales from the Borderlands when that was free last month. She played through the entire. I watched her most of it. It was top notch, amazing. Yeah. I didn't think like when she started playing it, I thought she was gonna play it thinking it was Borderlands because she loves Borderlands. And I remember it was episodic and more super story driven and not action at all. So I was like, I don't know if you're gonna like this, and like, turned out she absolutely loved it. Like she was super into it.
Telltale makes really great games. I loved the one about the fairy tales. I can't remember it, but The Wolf Among Us, I think is what it was called. Loved that. I played the Walking Dead one and loved that. And then I think I played like season 2, and it was great. And then of course, and then the Tales from the Borderlands, like that's really good. Life is Strange is not done by.
No, yeah, I know, but it's the same.
But it's the same. More, it's episodic.
Yeah, you have more control over your character in that. So I'm pretty sure Morgan's gonna like that. So
yeah,
also,
it's
and
great.
I've watched her play a little bit of it, and I played the demo. I guess it had been over a year ago.
I mean, it's really good, and it gives you hard decisions to make, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm really excited about this sequel. And then another one I'm kind of excited for. I don't know why I'm not more excited for it, but Shadow of War. It's the sequel to Shadow of Mordor, and I did play that one. I own it. I beat it and everything, and I liked it, but even though I beat it and everything, something about it just was like a little off-putting. Like I think it was because it felt really familiar. It felt very Assassin's Creedy, and
it was very Assassin's Creed meets like Arkham Asylum combat sort of deal.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool, but it didn't hold my attention, to be honest. Like I borrowed the game from someone and I gave it back way sooner than I could have. Like, because I mean, it just didn't hold my. I went through like 3 or 4 missions and I was like, this is cool and all, but I don't really want to continue. Like, I can. I'm having, but I don't really want to.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. And so, like, this looks like it could be really good. Like, clearly they're pushing more into the story, and looks like they're gonna have a lot of fun with it, which is great.
Yeah, I'm really liking the changes they made to it, with the orcs being, when they get on your side, they're a little more humorous. It's not super serious now. They're
Yeah, I mean, I'll wait for this one to come out, see what people say about it, and then maybe I'll check it out. But
something interesting I read about the game today is that if you fail a mission, you can't redo it. It's just gone. So life goes on. You just have to go to the next.
That's kind of cool. Because I kind of hate that you had to keep retrying ones. I'm glad there's like now actual.
I feel like it's gonna make it more immersive too, because like in
real life, you wouldn't get second chances.
Yeah. You couldn't reload the save.
Yeah. So then after that was Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I started this one. I don't even know why. I haven't even played Ori in the Forest, but I've heard really good things.
It looks pretty.
Beautiful.
It looks very pretty, yeah.
So that's kind of the thing, I guess, that drew me to it. So maybe I need to play Ori in the Forest now and then eventually play this one. And then that was pretty much it for the Microsoft one. Anthem was at the very end. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
And then so, I guess we can say that, talk about the One X price. It's $499, $500, which I get for the monster of a console you're getting, but at the same time, like, I don't know, spending $500 on a console is a lot.
Yeah. Because wasn't the PS3 like that expensive when it first came out?
Yeah, and people were like scoffing at it. Just like, are you kidding
I know I did. I couldn't afford that. That was nuts.
Even nowadays, like, I have a pretty good job, and I wouldn't even like. That would take a lot of thinking and commitment to be like, okay, let me plunk down $500,000.
Let me look at these 42 games again.
Yeah. And that's the problem, is that they didn't have enough to really draw me into the console.
So that Minecraft 4K though. I mean, cross-platform, Reggie. Come on. No. It's not. Just go pre-order your Xbox One X right now.
Moving on to Sony. So
fair enough.
Sony press conference was on Monday night, and I do want to say, even though Microsoft was like, we're gonna push out a ton of games, their like presentation itself was really boring. It was just basically showcasing a bunch of trailers. But Sony's, they really put some effort into like the actual presentation, which made it kind of cool. So like at the beginning of the conference, they opened up with a little bit of indie music, like performed live, and then behind the performers they had basically waterworks, like a waterworks type deal, and it was really cool.
Which okay, I'm gonna put this paper down because I have something I have to say.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
About waterfalls? How you hate them passionately, and
yes,
they would all die.
Wish the water would just stop. No, I feel really strongly that E3 now has gotten, the performances really bug me. Like the music was nice, the waterfall was cool. There was some other that had like a drum line. Was it EA? I'm pretty sure had the drum line.
Okay, now I get where you're coming from. Where some of the publishers really push the performance aspect of it, and they do really corny, cheesy shit that's totally unnecessary.
I mean, I get where it ties in. Drumline, most of the thing was about Madden. The music for Sony, the first thing they showed, I think, was Assassin's Creed Origins. So
it wasn't. It was Uncharted.
Uncharted
spinoff.
Yeah. Okay, well that's sort of, I can see what they were trying to do, but at the same time, everyone who's watching is sitting down to see the games, and I feel like it's really like a weird thing that it's forced upon us. Like it's
so the reason I'm okay with this is simply because the stuff that happened, at least after this one were really short. They were just things that add atmosphere while you were watching, which is nice. And so the reason I'm okay even with the opening, even though it was a little bit long, was because it was literally the opening of the entire show. You know, everyone's in the auditorium, lights go down, stage is black, they start playing music. It's a good intro, and you're wondering, oh, this is kind of nice. Is like the guy going to come out and talk now? Or just go straight into a trailer. So it was kind of nice that way. It wasn't super long, but longer I think than it probably should have been. But then after that, you know, so they showed Uncharted. And then after that, they showed Horizon Zero Dawn, the Frozen Wilds expansion, and but they just did they did a little like fake snow. Good job, man.
Ugh.
I'm sure that was hard. Do you regret your decisions?
My hatred of sweet pickles intensifies.
Yeah, especially when you got this shit. Jesus Christ. Okay, so
we'll get a good one day.
Maybe
that pimple pop one will be the good.
Oh God, no.
There's a pimple pop soda, and I'm gonna try it at some point. Stay tuned.
I want to throw up just looking at it. It's so gross.
I'm gonna drink the whole thing. Continue. What were you saying?
So then they showed the Horizon Zero Dawn trailer, and then they showed, which we'll talk a little bit more about this, Days Gone.
Right.
But during that, they had. They showed a little bit of a force in the background on the stage with like some zombies hanging down by ropes, and they were actors and stuff. And, you know, just stuff that they're not focusing on, but it's a nice little touch. You know?
I see. That was one performance that I was okay with, because it didn't. I felt like it tied in very nicely to what they were doing. It wasn't super distracting. It actually scared me at one point because I didn't realize they were actual people. So when something happened on the screen and then they moved, I was like, "Whoa, okay, all right." You got me. Good job.
Yeah, and so, you know, I understand where you're coming from totally, because there's sometimes where they put way too much focus on the performance when they should sometimes just let the trailer speak for itself, you know. But anyway, so Days Gone, I am really interested in this one. And yeah, at first I was like, this is just your typical...
It's a zombie game. Which is so played out. But
yeah.
You're right. There's something about it.
But yeah, it looked like you had a lot of versatility in manipulating things.
And I feel like this is a lot...
driven things.
Yeah, and I feel like it's also more story-driven. Like The Last of Us. Even The Last of Us wasn't technically a zombie game.
At first, it really felt like... had the same feel as The Last of Us. I thought it was going to be a Last of Us kind of like trailer or something for the second one, but it wasn't, and so that kind of is what drew me in. And but yeah, the minute I was just like, you know, I'm totally on board with this is whenever, because you know they've done things like, you know, set traps and then you whistle it. Like when Splinter Cell does that shit. And, you know, Hitman and all that stuff. So, but
hang on,
thing that
man, I think I know what you're gonna say. When he crosses the fence and puts the thing on the fence.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was like,
me too.
That's what I'm talking about. That's cool as shit.
Slick. So slick, yeah. And if you can get that, like, I really hope you can do impromptu things like that. Like, you don't have to do certain, like, you know that, you know, this fence will blow up because it's that kind of fence, you know.
Yeah.
I really hope there's things more.
It's like only specific highlighted chain link fences can you blow up. Like,
or, you know, you can chain together things like, I hope this works, you know, like some kind of Rube Goldberg machine or something. Like, I really hope this is going to work. And if not, it backfires on you. Like, well, shit, you know.
Yeah.
It's just, I really hope you can be super creative with the way you manipulate the world and these zombies. They're zombies, right?
Yeah.
They're zombies, okay.
Yeah. So that looks good. And then the next one, which I did not see coming, and as soon as I saw it, I freaked the fuck out.
I know.
The Shadow of the Colossus remake. And it's not like an HD update or anything. Like, it is a straight up, they're remaking everything from scratch. And oh my god, I will buy this game as many times as they release it, period.
My notes here on Shadow of the Colossus just say yes with 3 exclamation points, just yes. That's all I wrote for that, because that's all it needs. That's it.
I loved this game whenever it first came out. I played the shit out of it. The scale of the game, the beauty of the game, it's all great. And I love the fact that now, you know, because back then they had to do a lot of the fog because of the scale of the game. They had to get rid of that, like, draw distance. And so...
I mean, even then, on the PS2, that game looked like you're walking around in an oil painting. It
looks great. But now the fact that they can just do all of it in glorious HD, I mean, this is like the Crash Bandicoot HD remakes. Like I think those come out. Did they already come out? I don't even know. I should probably know that, but I'm gonna go check whenever I get home. So yeah, I'm gonna buy the shit out of those remakes. And the next was Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Okay.
Which
here's one I'm iffy on,
mm-hmm.
and because now they have sort of a involved story mode. Basically, I just thought of Subspace Emissary from Brawl, which I thought they did really well with the Brawl version of Subspace Emissary. But here, I feel like the voice acting was it put me off, especially when Mega Man X showed up. It really didn't work for me, and I felt like it's a bad idea.
Yeah, a lot of the voice acting was kind of especially for me, Rocket.
See, I don't know if
whoever the voice actor they had for Rocket, I felt was terrible.
I don't know if it was the voice acting or the
timing,
the capture of the way the lips moved. Maybe it's because it's a Japanese game and they didn't do a full lip redo on those.
Yeah.
Either way, something about it just kind of put me off when I was sitting there watching it. I understand. I mean, if they can pull it off, I think they can do a really cool story with all those characters. But if the cutscenes aren't working, then it's gonna ruin it.
We'll see. And then Call of Duty World War II. I don't even want to say anything about it because I have not played a Call of Duty since Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah.
And after that, I felt like maybe Black Ops 2 was alright, but
I don't know. I just dabbled in Modern Warfare 3 a little.
So the next section is something I kind of want to talk about because it was their VR section, and I okay. So here's my deal with VR.
I put the book down. It's serious.
Is one, it's all expensive as shit.
Oh god, yes.
You know, the cheapest VR you can do is if you get yourself a Samsung phone through a carrier and then you get a Gear VR. That's probably the cheapest. But even then, there's really not a lot of offerings that much, you know, through that because it's very low powered. But even things like Oculus and HTC Vive and the Sony PlayStation VR, like those are all great. But the reason that people aren't just taking off with it is because there's no good games for it. There's nothing. There's no killer app out there that makes people go, wow, you have to get a PSVR because this game is amazing. And with so I really thought last year they released the VR, so clearly this year they're gonna announce a lot of really great games to pull people in and be like, you gotta buy this because this game is gonna be great.
They're trying.
Here's the problem is because one of the games that they announced was just Skyrim VR. Okay, I get it. Skyrim's good. People love it. It's been released and re-released so many freaking times. But the thing is that I didn't really like Skyrim all that much. It was great, but I liked Oblivion way more. I played the shit out of Oblivion.
I started with Skyrim.
Did anything and everything. And so, but Skyrim just, I don't know, I fell off of it really easy. I tried to get back into it, and even then, with mods and everything, I only played it for a little bit.
It's just not necessary anymore. Same thing with Fallout VR. I saw that, and I'm like, this makes me want to play Fallout even less.
Yeah, it'd be better if they released it as a patch, or at least they released it and said that for $15 you can download a patch that makes your Skyrim VR capable. Or same thing with Fallout 4. If you download this $15 patch, makes it VR capable. That's fine. But the fact that they're like, no, you gotta pay a whole $60 to play the exact same game.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not. There's enough versions of Skyrim now.
Yeah, I mean,
you said earlier that you would buy Shadow of the Colossus every time they re-release it, no matter what. But I think it's only because it's only been released one time right now.
That's very true. It's only been released once.
I feel like if it had been released as many times as Skyrim, you'd probably be feeling something different about it. It's kind of, I already have it on my phone, PS2, PS4.
Yeah, I mean, even though I did say I'll buy it as many times as I release it, even then that could be a lie because if they release this one this year and then 3-4 years from now they release another version, make it VR or whatever, I'm just be like, well, why?
Right? Yeah.
Unless they're gonna completely change it where instead of it's a third person thing, they're like, no, you are the kid and you get to see everything from his perspective. You have to physically climb. That would make it a little bit different and be fun. But even then, after a while of seeing the same thing over and over again, it just gets to be a little.
The reason it doesn't work, in my opinion, is that VR is such a different platform than it's on console, but it's different gameplay altogether. So when you try to make a normal console game, or an older game into a VR game, the exact same thing, it changes it too much to where you don't get the same experience, and it's not even a better experience. You know what to do next. You know what
VR. I feel like they've got to like add something to it. Like, hey, if we're gonna have an all exclusive like expansion to it that's specifically geared for VR, it's gonna be a whole new island up in the north of Skyrim or something, like, then I could be like, okay, I could see maybe buying it again. But otherwise, if they're just like, we're just gonna repackage it with slightly different feel to it.
You also can't see your hands when you can see the weapons, which really takes me out of the experience for me.
Well, I thought you could see your hands. They just get cut off after like.
Well, okay, so they changed something with the hands. That's what I'm saying. Like it
feels
really
weird.
It really breaks the game for me. Like everything else looks super nice and super like and everything, but then your hands break off and it's moving weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's moving with your hands, but it's weird.
So, and then some of the games that they announced didn't feel like a need for VR, like Star Child. Maybe they didn't convey it well enough in the trailer, but to me it just seemed like a 2D side-scroller type deal.
Right.
And so I was just like, why does this need to be on VR?
You're looking left and right to see where you're going or something, but that's it.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
maybe some later trailers will reveal like some clever mechanic for it.
That's the only way.
Or they had that guardian robot that saved her from the spider or something. Yeah. I mean, maybe if it has something to do with that, then I could see it. Like, you're the robot and you're looking from his perspective, you can interact with the world while she's guiding her, then great. But otherwise, I'm just like, this is dumb. This is like having like
I feel like Sony like looked at some indie games and they're like, hey,
make it for VR.
We'll give you a spot in E3, and you can be on Sony if you make this for VR. Well, what you got right looks great. Just make it VR.
Yeah. So
they did, and it's the problem. They're bringing over main games meant for a console into like a weird VR experience, and it doesn't work correctly.
And the next after that was The Inpatient, which was a horror game.
See, horror works really well.
Which is, I feel like, what people are... It's going to draw people to VR, because that's ultimately what people want VR for.
Right.
That and porn. That's, I mean...
Yes.
They want to be scared and horny as fuck. So, I mean, anything else, they're just going to be like, I don't know, maybe. But...
It's about immersion.
Yeah, it's about immersion. So, I mean, that's what they say, right? Is whatever porn gets into, that's what gets popular. So, because porn went
Internet
on Blu-ray,
and VR.
that's what won. So, because porn was on VHS.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding.
That's great.
They've noticed that whatever porn picks, that's what usually ends up winning.
Hey, man.
I mean, I'm
in the wrong industry then.
So, I mean, once porn VR really takes off, I mean, everybody will want one. So. Especially if you had to interact with shit. But, okay. Anyway, so Inpatient.
Off porn now.
The Inpatient looks like it could be good. But I'm always iffy about horror games because they can make a trailer look as creepy as they want to. But until we see someone actually play it, we'll never know.
Yeah.
So, if it's good, maybe then I'll justify buying one. We'll see. But the next was this one. From the minute I saw it, and I was just like, I had a feeling from like the first like couple of seconds of what this was gonna be, and I was just in my head, I was just like, no, there's no fucking way that they would make this. Are you kidding me? Like, I can understand this being like a Japan release thing, but not here. And then it got deeper into the trailer, and I was just like, okay, what the fuck? In case you don't know what I'm talking about at this point, it's Monsters of the Deep. Which you're just like, okay, no, that sounds great. Like, that's a great name. Okay, no. This is a Final Fantasy 15 fishing game.
VR fishing game.
What? Yeah, a VR fishing game. Like, what the fuck?
Now, see, I saw this had the same reaction you did. I laughed out loud, and then I had flashbacks of me accidentally downloading that VR fishing game for the Samsung Gear and playing it more than I should have because I actually enjoyed it. So I kind of shut up and I'm like, I may have to just... I'm going to give it a chance. I don't want to judge it too quickly because I had way more fun than I should have with the silly VR fishing game.
It's just weird, man. I don't know. I mean, if it's like $10, sure, I'll give it a try. But not $60. If it's a $60 game, I'm going to have to find someone and slap them because there's no way. So then there were two more after that. There was Bravo Team, which looked like a standard first-person shooter, like co-op, team-based for shooting game, war game. So
Yeah.
again, it just depends on how well it plays. It's not something that looked super interesting. And then the last one looked really cute, and I do see the reason for VR a little bit, which was Moss, and it was you. Was it a squirrel that you guide? Frog?
You think it's a squirrel? I thought. I don't know.
Maybe it was a squirrel. Anyway, you got a little woodland creature, and I guess you're a guardian over it or something. You help it out, and so it looked really cute. That looks like something that is like a platformer side scroller that was geared towards VR. It has a reason for being that way. So yeah, that was the VR offering, and I do have to say there's not really a lot there that makes me go, wow, I gotta start saving up for that VR because these games look great. I love the idea of VR, and I really wanted to take off. I really wanted to start doing things because I think
it's cool. It's got potential.
It
definitely.
Does. And so that's the problem though, is that somebody out there needs. If you're listening and you're a publisher, hey, make a dope ass VR game because there's got to be something that really draws people in and go like, wow, you gotta play this, but there's nothing right now. It sucks. So we'll see. I get VR is still relatively young.
Someone will find a revolutionary way to really bring it home. Yeah, they will. There's too many smart people.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. Next was God of War, which I don't think they would call it anything but God of War.
It's just God of War. I'm actually excited about it.
Yeah, I am. I totally want to play this.
I've played and beaten almost every God of War except for 3. I made it about halfway through, and I don't remember why I quit playing it, but I did. And I've enjoyed them all. I like the gameplay.
Oh yeah.
I feel like this one is it's more story driven. It's a lot more thought put in the story than just, hey, there's Greek gods and you don't like them.
Yeah, go kill them.
They killed your family. You don't like them. Go. Yeah. You got your son now. You're teaching him things. I feel like a much more
cursed, and so going to the Norse gods.
And I'm really excited about that because I was kind of getting tired of the Greek gods because at first it was cool, totally cool.
He killed them all.
Yeah, he killed them all. It was awesome. And now it's the Norse god, which is like
really
it's
cool.
Really.
I really hope that Thor's somewhere in there and you get to kick his ass. That will be.
Oh, come on, you have to.
Yeah. So there was that, and then now I am so excited. I love games where you get to make choices and they have big impacts, and so that's why I love the Mass Effect series. That's why I liked A Tale of Two Souls. Is that what it was? The one with Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. And
then Heavy Rain.
Yeah, Heavy Rain.
Oh my god, yeah, those games. I love those types of games. So this one's another one in that kind of vein. Detroit Become Human, which is about the cyborgs.
So you mentioned that earlier. I couldn't remember what it was, but you just added the subtitle. I'm like, now I remember what it is.
Where they rise up and try to gain their independence, and you lead them, and so you may have to make choices about what to do. And there's a lot of different ones.
It didn't win me over. It looked interesting, but it's not one that I have to have. I may watch you play it.
I'm a sucker for it.
I think I would enjoy watching someone play it more than me actually playing it.
I just like it for the cinematic experience, and also the fact that you get to make choices, and there's hopefully multiple endings that really impact it. So there's that. Destiny 2. Yeah. We talked a little bit about that. I'm not really into it, so Destiny 2. And then Spider-Man. Fucking this game looks,
Naughty Dog, thank you.
Because I have not played a good Spider-Man game since I think it was Spider-Man 2, right?
No. I'm gonna go Spider-Man 3 on the Wii, but I didn't really play the game. I just swung around New York for hours because it was so freaking fun. Web slinging in that game was top. I don't think I played a single mission. I played enough to open the city up and then went to the tallest tower and just jumped off and just swung for hours. It was so exhilarating. So and it looks like the swinging in this game is super fluid and super nice, and the combat
if
more.
we want to go to a game that actually had substance,
Oh,
Spider-Man 2.
I didn't play that one.
It was the same thing. This open world. It was the first one that really had open world mechanics, and you could swing around and do everything. And the combat was great. All those stories and missions and silent.
Is that PS2?
Great. I think so. Yeah, GameCube and PS2. So it was good. And so this one looks to be absolutely amazing.
They're doing such a good job so far.
Yeah.
Don't mess it up. It's Naughty Dog. They're not gonna. They're doing so good with the games right now. So.
Is it Naughty Dog or?
I think it's Naughty Dog.
Insomnia. I thought it was Insomnia.
Is it? Okay, it's Insomnia. That made I get those
Insomniac.
confused.
I don't even know. We're such
I'm an
professionals. So yeah, that game looks great. I'm excited for it. It's a year away, unfortunately.
No,
Don't know
is
when
it
next
really?
year.
That
Yeah, it's
sucks.
2018. So
Okay, well,
we'll see.
I got a lot of time.
Yeah, a lot of time to make it perfect. Counting on you. So then, so that was it for Sony.
No, they had Ni no Kuni 2.
Oh,
They showed that.
yeah. I never finished the game.
Well, neither did I.
I
But
thought you did.
no, Morgan finished the game. I loved the mess out of it though, but she ended up
Pulling ahead.
playing it. I watched her the whole time, so
Right.
I mean,
it was fun for when I played it. I think I just college shit was happening around the time that I was playing it, so I ended up not getting out of it, and then.
But Ni no Kuni was I hadn't been excited for a game that much since it gave me the same feeling that I played Pokemon for the first time.
Yeah.
Like I really felt like a connection to wanting to connect, get all these monsters and make them my own.
Yeah,
And
I need
it
to
was
dust off my PS.
Studio Ghibli.
Finish that, yeah.
Like to express how much that I love that game, I sold my PS2. I still have the first Ni no Kuni. That's the only game I cannot part with. Because I will get a PS3 again one day. And we bought it normal, and then we found an empty special edition case and bought it for 50 cents. And so we love that game. So I mean, Ni no Kuni 2 is a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
There were a few things in the trailer that they have some like a new like battle mechanic that I don't know if I like yet or not. I mean, I'm gonna play it and hopefully I'll get used to it and I'll like it.
Yeah.
But
Is
really
Studio Ghibli helping out with this one again?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Good. So I guess then that's it for the Sony.
That's it
one.
for Sony. Yeah.
And then next was the Nintendo conference, which was Wednesday morning.
Mm-hmm.
I barely got to watch this one at work. I watched it on my lunch, and they didn't have. It wasn't very long. They didn't really have a ton, but they do Nintendo Directs all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're just like, we'll just announce these because it's the big one, and then we'll have another one later on in the year that'll be really big. So they show more footage from Mario Odyssey.
Right,
Which
looks it's looking
amazing.
great.
I just love the fact that whatever you throw your hat at, you can become.
That was I did not expect that at all.
No, but
Like, 'cause when the trailer started, they showed a T-Rex, and I'm like, what is this game?
I had no idea what the hell it was.
What the hell's
and then,
going
like,
on?
Mario comes out of nowhere. I was like,
Like, he's wearing the Mario's hat. I'm like, okay, how does this tie in with Mario? And I see the little mustache, and I'm like, what is going on right now?
For a second, I thought it was going to be Monster Hunter World for the Switch with, like, some Nintendo add-ons, because that's what Nintendo does. And I was like, okay, this could be really cool. But no, it ended up being Mario Odyssey. And I was like, okay, what does that have to do with anything? And then they start showing, like, whatever you throw your hat at, that's what you become. So
It's just interesting. It's
yeah.
a lot more transformation.
Gets rid of the whole, like, the
power-ups and whatnot. Yeah.
suits and everything. So that looks like it'd be really cool. And that actually comes out like the fall of this year, I think.
That's pretty soon.
Yeah. And then they showed a Kirby game, which I
Okay.
haven't played a Kirby game since Kirby Rainbow Dash on the DS. But I loved that one. It was hard as shit, but it was fun. So, I mean, mainline console Kirby games are usually pretty good.
Well, this Kirby game reminds me a lot of my favorite Kirby game, which is Kirby and the Crystal Shards on the N64. I played that game so much. I had a problem with playing that game.
Kirby addiction.
I had a serious Kirby addiction to that, and this game reminds me a lot of that,
Right.
which I'm excited for. It's really making me want. I mean, I already want to get a Switch. I need to get Zelda. I still have to play that.
Yeah.
I still have to, I mean, I've played it.
I mean, I'm still waiting a little bit. I mean, this definitely helped push me in the right direction. I'm just like, I'm probably going to get a Switch. But before I was just like, I'm gonna wait because even though there's a lot of good first party games, I'm still waiting to see if there's gonna be good third party support. We'll start seeing that maybe the end of this year.
That's what I'm worried about too, because a lot of it's shovelware.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and buy a console and then have all these games, and I gotta wait 6 to 12 months to get another good one. You know, that's what happened with the Wii U. So, but yeah, so Kirby game. They showed another Yoshi's game. It looked, I think, a lot like the
yarn one.
Yeah, the yarn roll or whatever. But it's a little different, so you get to flip the world.
Yeah, a lot of it's and a lot of the worlds are like parts of it are like hyper realistic, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, like the cardboard houses looked exactly like life.
It's cardboard. Like they basically took like Yoshi's like yarn world or whatever that one
Kirby's
was.
Yarn. Yeah. Was it Kirby's Yoshi's? They both did a yarn game.
Yeah, they both.
Kirby's Epic Yarn.
And the Yoshi yarn something. Anyway, so it feels like they took that and then mixed it with Little Big Planet. You know, because Little Big Planet is a hyper realistic foreground and background part. So that looked good. And then they didn't really show anything but a logo, but it was still enough to get me to be like, I need this shit, like having like withdrawals, because it was a Metroid and a new mainline Metroid Prime. So Metroid Prime 4. Yes, because I loved Metroid Prime 1. Metroid Prime 2 was good, hard as shit, but still good. And Metroid Prime 3 was excellent.
I only played the first one. I didn't beat it, but I played through most of the game, and I thoroughly enjoyed what I played. Didn't pick up 2 for some reason. I don't know why. And
it was good. It just got to be a little too difficult at the end, and then 3 was really fun. I don't think I ever finished it, but that was just because I was borrowing both the console and the game from somebody, and I didn't get to play very long before they wanted it back.
I need to see more on Metroid Prime 4 before I decide if that's something I want to get.
Yeah, I love the Metroid series. I played the classics and the ones on the Game Boy and everything, and I love the shit out of them. So, and then after that, they made a small announcement, which was still enough because people were speculating about it, and I am excited as shit about this because people have been asking for this forever. They announced that they are working on a mainline Pokemon Switch game.
And that's all I need to hear. When that moment was...
Now, I'm a little interested in how they're going to handle it. Is it basic... I hope it's not going to just be like... It's basically like a DS game, just slightly upscaled. Because that's going to be super disappointing. It'd be like, really? You just basically ported and had better resolution textures for the Switch? Like, you couldn't, like, completely rebuild it and make it look like an actual modern-day RPG? You know how amazing that would be?
Like, they have so much, like... They can make this so great or screw it up entirely.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. People are still going to buy the shit out of it.
Oh, yeah.
But when people are asking for a mainline Pokemon game on a console...
They want full 3D, open world, basically what they did to Zelda.
Yeah,
but with Pokemon involved. Right. Like, that's what I want. And if they gave me that and still turn-based fighting, I'd be okay, but my tip-top desire is open world, full 3D, but then when you go into a battle... Did you ever play Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm?
No.
Okay, basically you're dropped into a big round arena, whatever, and then you get free range with your character, just run and do all kinds of... You have a moveset.
Like Budokai Tenkaichi.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And the moment I started playing that Ultimate Ninja Storm... My first thought was, this is how a 3D Pokemon battle game should work.
I was actually about to start talking about that. Yeah, because, even though they could do the turn-based thing, that'd be great. I do think if they basically took that and mixed it with, like, Pokemon Battle Coliseum, like, that would be perfect.
I kind of feel like that's the reason Pokken Tournament exists, because they were kind of testing out the waters for a 3D Pokemon game, and it was really fun, so they went ahead and released it to kind of gauge how people would react to it. Yeah, so
it works really well.
I haven't played Pokken Tournament, but the way it looks, it's close.
The gameplay that I've seen, this looks like exactly what it needs to be if you have a mainline RPG.
I still feel like the Ultimate Ninja Storm battling would be a lot cooler, but I would happily settle for Pokken Tournament style battling in a main title 3D open world Pokemon game. Don't mess this up, Nintendo.
Please.
Jesus.
Please. Throw as much money at Game Freak as you need. Do 10,000 Kickstarters because people will pump money into all of them. People want this to be good, and I can't tell you the amount of disappointment that's going to happen Whenever, I mean, it'll basically just be like, man, you ruined this. Here's my money anyway.
Like I knew at some
but...
point I was gonna get a Switch. I wasn't rushed to though. But the second he mentioned main series Pokemon title, whatever he said, my first thought was, okay, I'm getting a Switch tomorrow. I mean, I couldn't afford that, but my point is, it was expedited exponentially. Me getting a Switch.
Yeah.
That's before I thought of this. They could mess this up, kind of thing. Because in my head, as soon as they said main title, it instantly all that stuff I just said about what I wanted was instantly what it was, and I'm like, that's it. That's all I need.
Yeah. And then the last thing in there was Mario plus Rabbids.
Okay.
And
I didn't expect that at all. That's the last thing I expected from Mario.
Mario Rabbids XCOM.
Which
okay, but I've never really been into the whole Rayman Rabbids thing.
I played the first one, but that's when it was on like
wasn't it just a bunch of mini games?
It was a bunch of mini games, and I had fun with it. But that was like early day Wii when the whole waggle thing was new and it was exciting.
Right.
But first when I saw that they introduced Mario and Rabbids together, I was like, eh. And I saw them run around the overworld. I was like, okay, I can see this working. And they got into the battle, and I was like, eh.
So
and then when I saw everything you could do, I was like, I might give this a chance.
So here's my problem.
Once I get my Switch
if you're gonna match up Mario and Rayman, why not just do Mario and Rayman? You know? Because they have a lot of fun, colorful characters that fit right along with Mario and them. They could have done the exact same thing. And they're more varied characters rather than a bunch of rabbits in different costumes. I think that's really stupid. And, you know, they just, like, Rayman Legends came out not too long ago, and I loved Rayman Legends. It's like, harkens back to the classic Rayman games, and it's so much fun, especially with more people. And it's just so disappointing that they were just like, okay, we're gonna mix these two properties, but we're gonna mix it with like one that isn't great. Like I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it'll be good. Most Nintendo games end up being good, especially first party ones. So
they do well.
It'll probably be good, but I'm just disappointed in the fact that I'm hoping that there's like Rayman and Rabbids. But then throughout the game, you get to unlock some of the Rayman characters to be your.
They really should have done, if not combine, like bringing Rayman himself into Mario's world, do a switch, like they did with Spyro and Crash Bandicoot on the Game Boy Advance. That was cool. Spyro fought, Crash's enemies. Crash fought Spyro's enemies in a 2D platformer. It was interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that would work really well because you're right. They're very similar in their platforming and all that kind of stuff, so I feel like they would work really well in their opposite worlds. But
yeah, I mean, even doing something like the Sonic Generations did, where they like had a mix of like the classic Sonic and then like modern Sonic, and they like played in each other's worlds and everything. That would have been cool. Like if like basically they had this multiverse where like the Rayman universe and the Mario Mushroom Kingdom universe smashed together, and then they have to go through levels together, and you get a mix of both styles.
Yeah,
that would have been great.
Working together to fix the worlds.
Yeah, but
that's what Mario would
even
do.
if they don't do that, even if they stick with that, like, no, we're gonna fucking make an XCOM game. That's just what we're gonna do. That's fine, but I just really feel like you can stick with Rayman, like not the Rabbids. I mean, I can go on and on about this because to me it's super disappointing because I love Rayman and I feel like he has a cast of colorful characters that they could work with. But to me, it feels like a kid appeal, which I know. I guess is
Rayman even associated with Raving Rabbids anymore? I feel like he hasn't been in a Raving Rabbids game.
No, but I don't even think they call it Rayman's Raving Rabbids anymore. They just call it Rabbids.
Rabbids, yeah.
But it's still basically associated with Rayman. It's from the same universe, but I don't know. I mean, this is my problem with Nintendo anyway. Is that they pride themselves as a family game company, right? And that's fine. That's totally fine, except for the fact that like they still, I feel like they've tried to push more towards like their hardcore like classic gamers, people like us who grew up with them, and with the Switch and everything. It's like you could take it anywhere, and this, they're releasing a lot of great games, but at the same time, I still feel like they're just like, but we really want to focus on children. Which again is fine. You can release games and everything, but you're alienating the people who grew up playing Super Nintendo and N64, and even the NES, and it just, I don't know. I feel like that all started hardcore with the Wii, Because as soon as the Wii got like huge popular success, they were just like, we only got to make games for families now. And so I was just like, okay, that's okay. Just forget about us then.
I bought a Wii for Zelda.
Yeah, and even then, like, it kind of crashed hard, and now you can buy a Wii almost anywhere for like $15, you know. And then the Wii U came out, which one was a terrible naming convention because nobody understood what it was. They didn't realize, oh, it's a whole brand new console, not just like a re-release.
It really seemed like it at first.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was just like a slightly updated Wii. That's all I thought it was.
Like a PS2 Slim, that kind of thing, or Slim version. You know? Yeah,
and it took a while for me to be like, oh no, that's a totally new console. Like they can do it for things like they have the DS and they have the 3DS, you know, or the DSi, the DSi XL, or you know any of that stuff. That's fine, but they've kind of been doing that kind of naming convention with their handhelds, but not with their main lines. You know, it's just like if they decided, you know, they're like, you know, the game Sphere after the game Cube, you know, then people would just be like, is this the same thing, just a different case?
With more polygons?
Like I don't understand. You know, and you either start with a naming convention or you know, or you just have to change your name all the time. So, you know,
it's
PlayStation,
weird that
everyone knows PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4. You know, if they release a PS5, people know, like, oh, that's a totally different console. And it's like, no, it's slightly updated, you know. Xbox, they've, you know, got their Xbox 360 One. I mean, they're all over the place with their shit, but at least they're not just like Xbox 362. And it's just like, what? Like, why would you do that? Like, people are going to be like, is this just a re-release? Like, what? But anyway, all that aside, Nintendo, love you, but please just start catering towards like some of your older crowd, because that's, I think, ultimately is what's going to keep you going strong on a console is your older crowd. If you start appealing to them, that's what keeps the longevity, because kids are finicky. Kids go, I want a Switch, I want it for this game, and then 6 months later they don't even touch their Switch anymore, they don't even care about any of the games, you know, they just want to play their PS4. So alright, well, I think we're done here.
I think we had a really good episode tonight.
It was long. We talked about a lot of shit. It was great. We have more content plans in the works, like we told you last
week. Before we end, what were your top 5 E3 games?
Oh shit! I don't
even know. Because I have a list.
You have a list?
I made a list. I feel like since I made the list, we should go over it.
Great. So let me quickly.
Here, I'll do my top 5.
Try to figure this shit out.
Number 5, Shadow of the Colossus. And it's only that low on the list because it is. I've already played the game, but I can't not have it. I was one of the. It was exciting for me when I saw it. Number 4 is Spider-Man, just because I feel like Insomniac is doing a great job with it so far, and it looks really fun. Number 3 is Ni no Kuni 2, because I had so much fun with the first one.
Right.
It's no brainer. I'm gonna get this. 2, we didn't even talk about South Park games. Fractured Butthole.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of already been announced and everything. So.
That's true, but we saw more on it, and that's my number 2 because I had so much fun with the first one, and I can't believe how much fun I had with the first one. Like I did not expect for that to be good.
It was amazing.
It was amazing, and number 1, it was only one sentence, but Pokemon on the Switch. I have such high hopes for this. I have such high hopes for this, and it has to be good. Nintendo, just listen to the community. They will tell you what they want, and you will sell 14 billion copies of
Nintendo
of
listening
this.
to the community.
I know, it's a long shot, but I promise if you do, everyone on Earth will buy it.
Okay, so my top 5, I guess they're not really going to be any specific order, but they're ones I'm excited about. So, again, Shadow of the Colossus remake. Definitely that's on there. So it's 1. Let's see what else. I'm excited about Dragon Ball FighterZ. I love the original fighting games.
That was a close one for me. That's probably number 6.
Yeah, so. It's up there. And then probably God of War is definitely up there. I'm excited about Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
Is that 4 already?
I don't know. I lost count. Wasn't paying attention.
Mario Odyssey, Shadow of the Colossus, God of War, Dragon Ball, yeah. And then the last one will probably be Spider-Man. Super excited about Spider-Man. The ones who are kind of up there, they get close to things like Cuphead and Life is Strange.
Right.
Those are really pushing up, and but they could be in the top 5. But definitely Spider-Man, Mario Odyssey, those are ones I'm really looking forward to.
There's one game that I was really disappointed that I didn't see anything on E3, and that's Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh,
I really want to see more on that. I love the first game. It's the first game I ever actually went trophy hunting on. I wanted to get all the trophies. I played it enough that I wasn't tired of it yet, and I wanted to do more things, so I just went down the trophy list. So I
didn't finish that.
Did you finish it?
I finished it, though.
Good. I'm glad we drove this on, because you almost forgot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Failed on week 2.
I really want to see more on Red Dead Redemption 2, and I was upset that I didn't see anything at E3 this year. Yeah, just something, another trailer or something. But yeah.
It's maybe still in early development, but
make something up. I don't care.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Anyway, okay, so I guess now that's it.
That's it. For this week. I'm done talking.
We do have more content in the making. We kind of have some ideas rolling around of what we're gonna do. We're not gonna talk about them just yet, but
other than podcasts, we want to bring you more into our lives and
right. Yeah. So if you have any suggestions on stuff, we'd love to hear it. Criticisms of the show. Of course, we're both new at this, so we're trying to do what we can. We understand our setup is not ideal. If you could see some of the shit that we have.
It's nuts in here.
No, we're going to take some pictures of our setup so that way you can see what we're working with.
It's going to be on Instagram. I'll put the Instagram right link right here or something somewhere in the middle here.
It's not 100% ideal, but it's kind of got to make do, I guess, especially when you start out. But eventually we'll upgrade. We'll get things looking nice. Yeah. Just if the format or anything or...
we just had to get this started now, otherwise we never would. And this is something we've been talking about for years, starting a podcast.
Like 3 years. Yeah,
it's nuts. So we finally just said, let's do it. Let's just do it tonight. We're going to get it started. And that was last week.
Yeah, so, hopefully, this lasts longer than a few weeks. So
it will.
Forever.
I'm having fun.
So. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week then.
Thanks for watching.
All right, bye.